Greetings Mavericks and new viewers. Tonight, direct and live from the Maverick News Network World Studios. This is Maverick News with Rick Walker.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Maverick News channel. Great to have everybody here. Iryna Zarutska, a Ukrainian refugee woman fleeing violence, fleeing the war in Ukraine, coming to Charlotte, where she was murdered. We'll talk about that tonight. Not receiving a lot of attention on mainstream media, but certainly getting a lot of attention online. We will also talk about Trump saying that he might send troops to, where is he going next? I believe it is, now he's talking about Portland, where we've had Antifa clashes with ICE agents. Also, the peace tent outside the White House. Trump says he wasn't even aware of it, but he ordered it taken down. It's a peace vigil, a permanent, semi-permanent, is it permanent? It's been there for, I don't know how many years? Many, many years. I'll check the exact number of years it has been there. And he said, take it down. We'll show you what's happened so far with that. Also, the Buford Pusser, Walking Tall, controversy. The Tennessee investigation into the really world-famous sheriff that they made all those Walking Tall movies about, an iconic American lawman. We'll tell you what the community is doing in the wake of this new investigation decades later that suggest Buford Pusser, the sheriff, was the guy who actually killed his wife. Not that he was attacked and was a victim along with his wife in that incident back in 1964, I believe it was. Museum there, the entire community of Adamsville, Tennessee, its very existence today owes Buford Pusser's legendary story. But is it true? We'll show you how the community has been reacting. We told you about that story a week ago. Very, very interesting and tragic piece of American pop culture and true crime. And then there's this other story that's going viral online, this controversy at a Phillies baseball game, a feud, a fight over a baseball that landed in the stands. Two fans ended up fighting over it, and I think it has maybe changed one woman's life, maybe for quite a while, maybe forever. We'll tell you about that. And Darth Vader's lightsaber auctioned off for millions of dollars, and we'll go to the auction tonight out in California and show you what's going on with this movie memorabilia, movie prop auction. All this is like authentic stuff right from Hollywood movies. So we'll take you to the Peterson Museum in California, where the auction has been taking place over the last 3 days, and show you what's been going on out there. So a lot to unpack tonight, all kinds of stuff to share with you. So stay with me. We will return with today's top news stories on the other side of this.
Greetings brave Mavericks. Our quest for truth continues. We go beyond fake news. Together we expose propaganda. Together we pull others out of rabbit holes. We are Maverick thinkers. We are all unique individuals, defenders of individual rights and freedoms, credible, trusted, grounded in reality. Maverick News, Maverick News. Defending free speech, Donate at freedomreporters.com. Do it now. Tomorrow may be too late. Maverick News. The world is watching. Maverick News. Fighting for freedom.
First up tonight, tragic story. This is about a woman, Iryna Zarutska, 23 years old. She was murdered on a Charlotte light rail public transit system. This happened actually about a week ago, but now the video has been released, the security footage, and we have that for you tonight. And so I caution you, this is tragic. It is violent. I'm not going to run the whole thing, but we will show you what happened so that you can assess it for yourself. The story going viral, of course, online, the video giving it, well, focusing new attention on it. So let's really, all you need to do, it is all available on social media. So let's do I had video queued up, but what we'll do, because I see that there's more and more stuff being posted, we'll actually show you the footage here. So here is the suspect. This is DeCarlos Brown. And the information we've had is that he is a repeat offender, and something like he's been arrested some 14 times for various offenses. And we have the video here.
Looking at her phone. She too is just mind. It's 9:46 p.m. You'll notice right away, this looks like any other ride aboard the...
But you notice the captions there, people taking this into the realm of controversy, racism, and framing it in that way. Some people, not everybody, but that's certainly what is happening online. Not surprisingly, given the environment that is out there today. See if I can get you the fuller video here. There's our feed. Oh, here's a letter from, I guess, the mayor. Let's see what this says. Charlotte is by and large a safe city. CATS by and large is a safe transit system. This from the mayor. However, tragic incidents like these should force us to look at what we are doing across our community to address root causes. We will never arrest our way out of issues such as homelessness and mental health. I'm committed to doing the hard work with Mecklenburg County community leaders, healthcare service providers, and the private sector to ensure that Charlotte continues to be one of the best cities in the world with the highest quality of life for everyone. I want to be clear. I am not villainizing those who struggle with their mental health or those who are unhoused. Mental health disease is just that, a disease like any other that needs to be treated with the same compassion, diligence, and commitment as a cancer or heart disease. Our community must work to address the underlying issue of access to mental health care. So this lady, Iryna Zarutska, came to America to escape the violence of the Ukraine war. And here's the video. And she just gets on this public transit system, sits down, really minding her own business. And this person behind her, well, you'll see what happens. And they've never met before. The authorities say that they had no interaction at all. And after about 4 or 5 minutes, he attacks her. And you see the blood. More here.
I think it's a complete tragedy, but it is an example of how we need to get more mental health services to folks who are unhoused. And I think it's a complete tragedy, but
So there's that side of it, or that view of what happened. And then, of course, we have other people turning this into a racial thing. And that is what is really propelling this to viral status online. See, racism right there. And this, of course, on Twitter, where you get a lot of this tug of war back and forth. So, you know, you know me, I like to wait for facts. And so I don't know what the motivation would be here. But obviously, if this guy has been arrested over and over again, and you see here, then, you know, it seems to me we have some sort of a systemic issue in Charlotte, maybe nationwide, maybe society-wide, because he has been arrested many, many, many times, and then he's back out on the street. 2007 to 2014, criminal record begins. Still a minor. He was arrested at least 6 times for crimes, including felony, larceny, robbery with a dangerous weapon, communicating threats. And then most of the charges, it says here, are reportedly dropped. That, according to newspaper archives, 2014 armed robbery conviction. He was convicted of armed robbery and served approximately 5 years in prison. Released in September of 2020. Then February 2021, arrested again for assault and property crimes. Shortly after his release, Brown was arrested for assault on a female, specifically his sister, resulting in minor injuries, injury to personal property, and trespassing, after returning to a residence where he was banned and damaging a front door. And then in July of 2022, domestic disturbance, arrested for disorderly conduct due to yelling and cursing, causing a disturbance and drawing attention from multiple tenants at a property. And then January 2025, misuse of the 911 system. He was arrested for misusing the 911 system after claiming someone had given him a man-made material controlling his actions, eating, walking, and talking. He was released without a bond. A public defender later questioned his mental capacity to stand trial, and a forensic evaluation was ordered but not completed. I know that here in Canada, mental health issues are a serious issue, and for society, for police. because when they shut down the psychiatric hospitals, if you want to call them that, some decades ago now, not that long ago, really, they put those people, a lot of them, straight out onto the street or put them out into the community to sort of fend for themselves. And we've seen since then a real increase in all kinds of problems on the streets. And it has forced police really to deal with a lot of those as though they're almost like social workers, but they're not. And so you're seeing in communities like Toronto, and this happened in the States, just to remind everybody, this happened in the States, but we've had incidents like this in Canada as well. And, some people who would otherwise be getting constant care in a mental health facility, those facilities no longer exist because they were deemed to be not humane by some people. We're seeing a return to that kind of thinking, where they're reopening facilities like this in Alberta, and there are ethical issues surrounding that because it looks like they may be rounding people up and maybe even against their will for their own protection, for their own safety, putting them in these facilities again, or will be. So Danielle Smith announced that. We carried that here a couple of months ago now. These are complex issues. Is it racism? Is it mental health? Is it drug addiction? Is it a combination of these things? Is it homelessness? Is it the economy? What is it? I think when you look at this guy's record, certainly mental health is part of the issue. Was it racially motivated? Again, I don't have all the information. I don't have the facts, and I'm not in the guy's head. I saw Tommy Robinson posting online about it, and he's just jumping to the conclusion that the woman was murdered because she's white. But I can't say that. I don't know. I'm not the investigator. I don't have the information. I'll put it out there. It's in vogue right now to have a certain mindset with regard to these things. And I'm not there. I just want to deal with facts. And that's my position on it. If anyone cares. And frankly, if you're going to phone me, like I've been getting phone calls for the past week or so, telling me that I'm a human piece of you-know-what, you go ahead. I don't care. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. And I'll just wait for facts. You do what you want. I'll be back in a minute.
Greetings, brave Mavericks. Our quest for truth continues. We go beyond fake news. Together we expose propaganda. Together we pull others out of rabbit holes. We are maverick thinkers. We are all unique individuals. Defenders of individual rights and freedoms. Credible. Trusted. Grounded in reality. Maverick News. Defending free speech. Donate at freedomreporters.com. Do it now. Tomorrow may be too late. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Okay, I'm back, and violence is the excuse, the crime is the excuse, the reason, the justification that Trump is citing, threatening to go into Chicago next with National Guard troops, talking about that again, I think yesterday. And we're also seeing he's threatening to go into Portland, where we've seen clashes between Antifa and ICE agents.
Yeah, I have. I have. I'm not going to say it now, but yeah, I have. We're going to go into another place and straighten it out. And I will say this. I watched today. I didn't know that was continuing to go on, but Portland is unbelievable what's going on in Portland. The destruction of the city.
Are you going into
Well, I'm going to look at it now because I didn't know that was still going on. This has been going on for years. So we'll be able to stop that very easily. We'll be able to stop it. But you know, that was not on my list, Portland. But when I watched television last night, this has been going on. You wouldn't be standing if you were the mayor. You would be. Can you imagine?
So we'll see what happens in Portland. And yeah, I mean, they've had long-standing issues there, especially since Trump's arrival on the political scene in like 2015, 2016, and the protests in Portland, one of the hot spots for those kinds of clashes. Speaking of clashes, we have this other story right out of Kazakhstan where you got this politician. See if I can find the. I've got the two politicians. It's a fight. I'll bring my notes up over here. So I've got the website up for this lady. Death threats. Politics. I've always said it's a blood sport, but it seems some people want to take it truly to that level in a very literal sense. Maybe. Here, I'll show you. So this is, my gosh, it's getting nasty out there, folks. Death threat leads to call for Ontario politician to resign. So this is about a voicemail that was left for a retired police officer, Tom Dingwall. And he says the threat appeared to come from someone that he knew or knows, and it happens to be his local municipal councillor. And in this voicemail message, the person who calls identifies herself as Corinna Trail, and she lays into this ex-police officer with a verbal tirade. I guess there's some colorful language in there, and she threatens, we're told, to harm him, kill him. So it says, in the short tirade, the caller identified herself as Corinna Trail and then launched into an expletive-laced message meant to deter Dingwall from running for mayor of Clarington, Ontario. Stay out of politics. So he weighed this, and I guess there were concerns that this might lead, that the threats might actually be directed even at his wife. So threatened his wife, or scared his wife anyway. So he did report it to police. And now the former police officer who was looking at running for mayor wants Trail to step down. She's been on council for 15 years. He says, it's my tax dollars paying her to represent me and my family, and I don't think she should be representing me and my family or any other family until she gets some help for whatever issues she's dealing with. So I've got her website up here. So I don't know, is Trail looking to run for mayor? Stepping up? Let's go to her website. I'll show you what she looks like. I'll show you what she says, show you what she's all about, or at least what she says she's all about on her website. Right here. Corinna, local councillor for Ward 3. She was born and raised in Bowmanville. Attended local schools, coming from a family of educators. She understands the value of maintaining a strong local school system. She's a local supporter of the arts and culture. She supported a new twin pad arena and swimming pool. She established the Seniors and Affordable Housing Task Force. She's a firm believer in accountability and transparency. Well, that's interesting. Maybe we'll come back to that in a moment. After years of lobbying, in the 2022 election will be the first electronic election. Residents can vote, blah, blah, blah. So that's old on our website. Yeah, she also, I guess, is a big fighter for LGBTQS plus rights. She has the endorsement of some firefighters, it looks like, and she supports low taxes. So that's Corinna up here. Let's see. Let's phone her up. See if she's home. Okay. Mm-hmm.
You've reached 905-440-6813. Please leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Hello, Corinna. It's Rick Walker calling from Maverick News. I am calling to see if you might want to respond to these allegations of leaving death threats on a political opponent's voice message system. You have my number there on the call display. Just one moment and I'll leave it for you here. And if you could call me back, I'd really appreciate it. Our viewers would really like to get your response and hear your side of the story. Hope to hear from you soon. Thank you. Okay, so we've reached out to Corinna and we'll see if we get her statement, but I know that for other media, she has responded only by email so far and said that she doesn't feel it's appropriate to talk about it at this time. She'd like to resolve it and put it behind her. So we'll see. Well, that's an interesting story. Somebody seems to have lost their temper. Maybe. But these allegations have not been proven in a court of law. Also, that audio recording has not been publicly released. It has only been played without another recording of it being made for some journalists. So we will see where all of that goes. Interesting story. Now, also, we're going to get to that movie action shortly, too. On the World War III front, unbelievable, we're seeing in France, the health ministry has issued a letter, it was leaked, saying that the country needs to, that hospitals in the country need to prepare for a major conflict by next March. They're saying they have to be prepared to handle between 10,000 to 50,000 wounded because they're supposed to be prepared to brace for a major military engagement. And it cites today's volatile global climate and the need for health support in high-intensity conflict. And the health minister, Catherine Vautrin, has not denied the letter. She says it's really about precautionary planning, saying that COVID failures prove France cannot afford to be caught unprepared again. Now, you can interpret this in a variety of ways. Some people will say it proves that NATO is heading, or the world is heading, for World War III or a major conflict in Europe, between Europe and Russia, saying they're planning for it, they know it's coming, or you could say that they're worried about it and they want to be prepared. Either way, it's very concerning because the world is teetering on the edge, as we can clearly see. Let's roll this clip.
Hospitals across France have reportedly been told to prepare for a potential armed conflict by next year, with the government urging health providers to be ready. According to French media, in a leaked letter sent to health agencies across the country, the government says hospitals should be prepared for a major military engagement as soon as March 2026. It said that between 10,000 and 50,000 men could be expected in French hospitals over a 6-month period, which could include foreign soldiers who are coordinated with NATO and the EU. They are planning medical transit centres to make use of regional facilities and to distribute patients arriving from potential front lines. According to the reports, doctors are also being warned to prepare for shortages. The French health minister hasn't denied the letter and stressed it was a precautionary measure, but that aggression from some actors means the country needs to prepare for the worst. It comes months after the government announced a survival manual which is set to be sent to every household in the country. The 20-page booklet is said to include details of what to do in a variety of emergencies, including nuclear blasts and natural disasters, and contains a survival kit packing list, which includes water, tinned food, paracetamol, and a torch.
Duck and cover. Well, I'm worried. I'm also worried about what's going on around Venezuela. Big military buildup there. We've seen real serious escalation over the last few days in particular. All started with this video that was released by, well, Trump authorized the release of it, of this boat, the alleged drug boat. Here it is here. I'll run the video again. Now I say alleged. I say alleged because I'm not 100% convinced that this is what it appears to be. I think there may be more to it, or maybe less. It may actually be fake news coming straight from the White House, because Venezuelan officials have alleged that this video is artificial intelligence. It's fake, they say. This is, take a look at it again. So this is the alleged drug boat, 4 motors on the back. Trump says, like, those are big bags of cocaine that they are alleging are in this boat. They say there were 11 people on board here, and 11 people were killed in this attack. Now, we have many, many naval vessels down there around Venezuela. Now, big military buildup around the country, and that is the explosion that apparently took out the boat, killing all 11 on board. A lot of criticism leveled at the Trump administration for taking that kind of action to that extreme. Why you need a bunch of warships around there to affect that kind of outcome. Seems like a bit of, if you'll excuse the phrase, a little bit of overkill. And they're saying, Marco Rubio is saying that these are terrorists. That's how they're getting around even the international law, saying they killed them because they're narco terrorists. So I have real concerns about it. Because there is no due process, because it's not a capital offense for drug smuggling. And I kind of wonder if this is even real. I don't know it's real anymore. It seems to sort of be real, but right from the beginning, certain things about that video, when I saw it, it was like some things don't seem quite right about it. The pointy end on the boat, for one thing, it just looks a little odd to me, but maybe. Also, this is not exactly a fuel-efficient boat. I don't know how it gets all the way from Venezuela to the United States. It doesn't look like it's laden with fuel. So do they have enough gas to go all the way from Venezuela with 4 outboard motors on a boat like that all the way to the United States? What is the distance from... How far is it from Venezuela to the United States by boat? It is 2,972 miles, or 4,784 kilometers, is the shortest airline between the USA and Venezuela. Let me check this. I'm going to double check the distance. So they're telling us that this boat, and I guess unless it was on its way to rendezvous with another boat or a bigger ship or something, how far is it by boat from Venezuela to the United States? The distance is, if you went from Puerto La Cruz, Venezuela, to Miami, Florida, the distance is 1,370 miles, or 2,200 kilometers by sea, accounting for navigation routes. The distance is roughly 1,500, 1,700 miles, blah, blah, blah. So on a boat traveling 20 knots, 23 miles per hour, a typical speed for a motor yacht, the trip would take about 75 to 85 hours, 3 to 4 days nonstop. Slower vessels like sailboats, 5 to 10 knots, could take 7 to 14 days. So we'll say it's a 3-day trip, 75 to 85 hours. Route typically passes through the Caribbean Sea, potentially stopping at islands like Aruba or the Dominican Republic for fuel or rest. For fuel, okay. So small boat. Let me just see. Is that even possible for a boat like that to make it? I don't know. Wouldn't say it's fuel efficiency. They've got to stop for fuel someplace. And they had 4 motors on that thing. So they can reach speeds of up to 40 to 60 knots, or 46 to 69 miles per hour. Fuel capacity, 200 to 500 gallons of fuel with larger models. And real world conditions. Couldn't do it in a single trip. It would require multiple fuel refueling stops, likely at Caribbean islands or via motherships, and careful navigation. Man, I don't know. I just don't know about that. And why 11 people on board? Would you take a trip over like that many days? And some things just don't seem right about it. So anyway, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. If it's real, they blew it out of the water and 11 people died. If it is AI, then it's all smoke and mirrors. I'm not sure which one I'm more comfortable with, but the allegations are out there, not just from Venezuela, but other people online too have also been questioning the validity of that video. And AI is making the world a very difficult place to navigate these days in terms of reality. And since then, things seem to be escalating further, because the Trump administration saying just yesterday that Venezuela buzzed a U.S. warship, one of many that have been moved into position around Venezuela. And today they released what they say is footage of a Venezuelan F-16 buzzing the ship. So I'll show you that footage. And I've also heard that the U.S. has now authorized ships to fire upon any Venezuelan fighter jets or aircraft that do this kind of thing again. So they say this is footage of the Venezuelan F-16, one of them, that buzzed the U.S. ship. was released. So, and if they go there again, they're authorized to actually shoot at the jets. Why didn't they shoot at that one? Well, from what I understand, they didn't detect any missile. They were armed, we're told, but the assumption was that Venezuela wouldn't want to escalate things to that point because, of course, they're going to be pretty outgunned if Venezuela takes military action against the U.S. It feels like it's getting out of control. Now, a lot of people are saying that this is because Trump wants a regime change in Venezuela. And obviously, we're seeing that Trump does not like Maduro. They've put out a bounty on his head, $50 million. They're saying that it is a narco-terrorist state. I have no doubt that they're a source of a lot of drugs coming into the United States, Venezuela. How serious is it? Well, these days, with everything coming out of Trump and seeing what he's doing in other countries, something like this, I'm taking it with a dose of skepticism in terms of scale. Maduro says the U.S. is lying about drug trafficking, and he put out this video. He says Venezuela is a country that is not relevant in this area and in all matters related to drug trafficking. So he says this lie is so crude and as fallacious as the fact that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. It is a lie, and I am telling the U.S. public, please don't get involved. One more lie for another fratricidal war now in South America and the Caribbean. South America, Latin America, and the Caribbean want peace, he says. Here's the video. And
Venezuela es un país no relevante en materia de narcotráfico
in terms of drug trafficking
y en todas las materias que tenga que ver.
Related matters, he says they're not
Así que
involved. He says this lie is as crude and
esta mentira es tan burda y tan
false as the claim that Iraq had
como que Irak tenía armas de destrucción masiva. Es mentira. Y se lo digo a la opinión pública estadounidense. Podremos tener diferencias en formas de pensar en lo filosófico, en lo político, en lo económico. Pero por favor, no se dejen meter una mentira más para una guerra más fratricida ahora en Sudamérica y en el Caribe. Sudamérica, Latinoamérica y el Caribe quiere paz, y ya lo acaba de decir la comunidad de estados latinoamericanos y caribeños. Venezuela.
But the escalation continues, certainly on the U.S. side. And man, I'll tell you, they're escalating. Trump says, "Oh no, I don't want regime change." He did come out and say that, but since then, he has now authorized moving stealth fighters into the area. They've approved the deployment of 10 F-35 stealth fighters to Puerto Rico, and Venezuelan after those F-16s buzzed the USS Jason Dunham, or so he says. And of course, they're also citing that drug boat as further justification. And the Pentagon is tying the action to cartel-linked overdoses, killing 400,000 Americans during the Biden years. I believe we've got a clip to go with this. When it comes to war these days, when they want to get involved in wars, I stand back and I'm like, because I really wonder how much of a threat Venezuela really poses to the United States.
The U.S. tonight is ordering a squadron of a dozen stealth fighter jets to the Caribbean to conduct operations against drug cartels. Of course, this all comes as Venezuela sends a message to the Trump administration, too. Lucas Tomlinson is at the White House tonight for us. Good evening to you, Lucas.
Good evening, Aisha. The White House has approved the deployment of 10 F-35 stealth fighter jets to Puerto Rico after a pair of Venezuelan F-16 jets buzzed an American-guided missile destroyer in the Caribbean. President Trump sent the following warning to Venezuela moments ago.
If they do put us in a dangerous position, they'll be shut down.
The Pentagon called the flyover of armed Venezuelan F-16s over the USS Jason Dunham highly provocative. The flyover took place 2 days after U.S. forces launched a strike on a Venezuelan drug boat in the Caribbean. President Trump said all 11 members of the Tren de Aragua gang on board were killed. The State Department declared the group a foreign terrorist organization in February. A Republican member of the Senate Armed Services Committee called the strike justified.
The boat had been warned to stop. They chose not to. They were clearly running drugs. We had been tracking it since it left Venezuela.
Many Democrats called the strike a violation of international law.
They think they can get away with this. God knows what they are going to do next. So that's what we're looking to right now, and there is reason to believe that this was not a legal action.
President Trump's defense secretary says the actions are justified after 400,000 Americans died from drug overdoses during the Biden administration.
A foreign terrorist organization poisoning your people with drugs coming from a drug cartel is no different than al-Qaeda.
At the height of the Obama administration, the U.S. military carried out drone strikes in 7 different countries: Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Libya, Pakistan, Yemen, and Somalia. Over 500 in all, killing an estimated 3,500 people, including hundreds of civilians. President Trump also made it official, changing the name of the Department of Defense.
We're going Department of War.
Oh, man. And this happening as they switch the name to the Department of War. The Department of War. Okay. But he doesn't want a regime change. I'll be back.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarmingly, some media outlets simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
In an ocean of lies a century deep, the truth awaits. Choose not the red pill. Choose not the blue pill. For both are an illusion. Discover the power of M. The power of individuality. We are mavericks. We are the way to the light. Fear not the storm. Join our quest for truth. Truth will set you free. Maverick News. The world is watching.
It's Saturday. Okay. Man. Where are we going next? Oh, let's go with Epstein. Jim Acosta, reporter, sort of was. Him and Trump, like oil and water. Interviewing another person that Trump has no love for, Rosie O'Donnell. And she's on the Epstein thing, saying that, I don't know, man, like some people are thinking that what she says here might just get her sued by Trump, because she says that over time she gave Jeffrey Epstein like $1 billion, $1 billion with a B, $1 billion.
One person standing in the way of us all figuring out why his name appears multiple times in the Epstein files. We still don't know why his name appears multiple times in the Epstein files.
We do know why,
is Donald Trump.
We all know why.
Yeah.
You have to know why. Why else do you think he paid $1 billion to Jeffrey Epstein over the time of their friendship. $1 billion. He wrote in his birthday book, "Here's to all the secrets."
Wonderful secrets,
Come on. If this was an Angela Lansbury murder, she wrote, people would be, it's too obvious.
We figured it out.
So obvious that he is guilty as sin. And America, you know, before he brings more troops into Chicago and harasses brown-skinned people, before he breaks more of the Constitution apart, before he starts having people get killed, we have to do something, America.
Yeah.
And it's time for every person with a platform to speak out about it. Every single person, now or never. Break glass in time of emergency. It's time to break the glass.
And you saw, Rosie, what he did the other day when those brave women were up on Capitol Hill, the survivors, their families, they were all speaking out. At the same time, Donald Trump is saying it's a Democratic hoax.
How dare he, Jim?
Yeah.
How dare he? For every child that was ever raped by a grown man, how dare he? How dare he? We are mighty. 1 in 3 girls suffers child sex abuse. 1 in 5 boys. Those are the statistics, America. Wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up. Our president is a serial pedophile rapist, and that's what he is. And in America, you're allowed to have an opinion. You're allowed to say what you think. That's what our country was founded on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, and then there's this, where now Trump has said that it's a Democrat hoax. Before, being reelected, the MAGA movement was using the Epstein scandal as campaign ammunition, directing all the fire at the Democrats. Now it's coming back full circle. They're attacking Trump with it, which is it's just so performative. Then he says it's a hoax. Then we're getting this messaging even out of the White House saying that Trump was actually an FBI informant trying to end it all. Mike Johnson, Speaker, saying this, like exactly that. And then some people saying that he's obviously lying, they say.
He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago. And he's not saying that what...
So he's now saying that Trump he has sympathy for the victims, saying it's a real thing, not saying it's a hoax. And in fact, he was actually an FBI informant. As soon as he found out what was going on, he kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. And now they're trying to say that Trump was actually an informant. That's, his involvement. He was trying to put an end to it all. It's the story that just won't go away for Trump.
They both look clean, but the guest list redacted, if you know what I mean.
protect the victims. And also Donald Trump. Coincidence? Just dumb luck. Right? Another sealed file. That crocodile smile. We did our best, says the DOJ, while the truth just fades away. Another new spin. No one will win except the rich guys with gold ID cards and closets full of secrets behind steel bars. Just a little glitch. A billionaire's privilege. That's the sound of the case. Closed.
Crimes, sex crimes, violent crimes, crimes in public, crimes current, crimes in the streets, crimes from the past. Last week we told you about the Buford Pusser walking tall reinvestigation. If you've seen those movies, you know, any of them, certainly the first one, the one that I remember from 1974, Walking Tall, tells the tale, as I grew up with it, of Buford Pusser, sheriff, Adamsville, Tennessee, who we were told, I grew up with this idea that Buford Pusser went out on a call with his wife. He'd been fighting corruption, organized crime in his community, and that he was ambushed. Well, his wife was in the car with him, and his wife was shot and killed. He was shot in the face, and he became an iconic lawman, and they made movies about him, television series. They opened a museum in Adamsville. They have a fair every year, the Buford Pusser Fair Festival. They give away Lawman of the Year award at that event. The whole community has prospered because of the Buford Pusser Walking Tall story. And then about a week ago, the authorities down there revealed the results of a very lengthy reinvestigation, which brought them to the conclusion that Buford Pusser actually had murdered his own wife because they never found the killers. So as a result, you know, we had an exclusive interview with the former president of the Buford Pusser fan club, who was 17 when she was the president of the fan club. They mailed out merchandise that people were purchasing at the time. She knew him personally. She doesn't think that he did it. He's long since passed away, and he died in 1976 in a car crash of suspicious circumstance. And you know, the community down there reeling from this because they rely so much on the story and the tourism that comes from all of that. Well, we told you we'd be digging back into it, and I have a little bit. I did call down to the museum. I'm still hoping to get a call back from them. The community has been kind of reviewing all of this. The mayor of Adamsville reviewing all of it. They've been trying to decide what the right thing to do is. And I can tell you that the museum, I know, says they will be staying open. A lot of people coming to the defense of the legend of Buford Pusser. What is the truth? It seems like always these days, the truth is elusive. The evidence, they said in the news conference that because Buford Pusser has passed away many years ago, along with his wife, that they can't bring charges, and so there's no ultimate conclusion to this case. And so people are saying they didn't prove anything, and so the community, this is the status right now. This is WKRN ABC.
I still believe the words written on T-shirts for sale at the Buford-Pusser Museum in Adamsville less than a week after investigators revealed the former sheriff killed his wife, then covered it up. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 6. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Wilgus. The museum announced they would be selling the shirts in a now deleted post, but the notion remains prominent. News 2's Sam Clementi spoke with the Sheriff Pusser fans who are not changing their stance on the legendary lawman.
They didn't prove anything. Outrageous accusation. I remain a fan of the legendary lawman. It doesn't matter that Sheriff Buford Pusser, in the words of the TBI, more than likely killed his wife. His supporters aren't buying this news story.
For 60 years, this rumor's been around. From people who was against Buford, they didn't like him.
From Facebook fan groups to new merchandise, Pusser has walked tall among Tennessee historical figures for so long that many believe this investigation simply tarnishes the reputation of a dead man.
A lot of these people are just jumping on the bandwagon that might not even know who Buford Pusser was. They just want to get clout on the internet to say one way or the other. And that's what they're doing without looking at any evidence or the lack thereof.
Jason Dickerson is a sheriff's deputy in Alabama. He tells me that he got into law enforcement largely because of Buford Pusser and the stories of him he heard growing up. He believes the TBI's full report, when it's released to the public, will have several redactions.
And without any evidence that shows this 100%, then it shouldn't have been done. And I don't think they need to change, the legacy there is. That's what Adamsville was built on because of what he done.
Dickerson's stance, especially questions about the evidence, is one shared by many. That includes the state's designated Buford Pusser historian, Steve Sweat.
Any of these opinions or thoughts is nothing new to me. Like I said, I've heard every kind of opinion and thought in the world since Saturday morning, August 12, 1967. This is Magnet County in Tennessee's history. And as for my family, we will stand by the Pusser family, as I have for the last 63 years.
The Buford Pusser Museum in Adamsville announced they will remain open in spite of the investigation's findings. Sam Clementi, News 2.
So, I guess it comes down to this. What reality do you choose? Because reality, I guess, has got to be predicated on truth, right? So what's the truth? I don't know. And that's, again, you're seeing it even in Charlotte with the stabbing, the fatal stabbing on the public transit system. Let's get another take on that. Here's the report from, what channel is this? This is the WCNC. And so online, you're getting, the racially charged stuff. On this mainstream media report, you're getting the other perspective.
Deadly stabbing that happened on the Katz Blue Line train.
Yeah, this case has certainly sparked those renewed concerns we've been hearing about safety on public transit, and many folks now raising questions about mental health.
WCNC Charlotte has made the decision not to show the full attack due to the graphic nature, out of the utmost respect as well for the family and friends of the victim.
And WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Peer is joining us now. Jesse, you're walking us through now this video and also the concerns that experts are telling you need attention.
Well, like you mentioned, this video captures a very terrifying moment, showing the moments leading up to the attack of 23-year-old Iryna Zarutska, who came here from Ukraine to escape war. But unfortunately, her life was taken in a tragic way. Now, this case raises many questions about safety and security on public transit, but it also raises many questions about mental health, the suspect's state of mind, and if any warning signs were missed there.
This is video surveillance of the night. Iryna Zarutska enters the Blue Line at the East-West Boulevard station stop. You can see she takes a seat directly in front of DeCarlos Brown, the suspect. At first, nothing seems unusual, but 4 minutes later, he pulls out what appears to be a pocket knife and suddenly stabs Zarutska multiple times. Zarutska then collapses. As Brown walks to the front car, takes off his sweater, and wraps his hand before exiting the train. Police arrested him on the platform shortly after. Kat says nothing in Brown's behavior that night raised alarms before the stabbing. Former FBI agent and former federal prosecutor M. Quentin Williams gave us his take on this and whether improved security could help prevent future incidents like this one.
I think they have a good camera system, and that's really important. And that can be a deterrent in and of itself. It also helps to solve the crime, which it did here. My question would be about the private security or off-duty police security that patrols the line. Is that adequate?
Now, Katz has shared several measures they are taking to improve safety, and that includes upgrading technology, a stronger partnership with CMPD, and they have stepped up patrols along the blue line. Meanwhile, Brown, who did not have a ticket to ride, has been charged with murder. His attorney has filed a motion to have him evaluated, for his competence evaluated. Live in West Charlotte, Jesse Pierre, WCNC Charlotte.
Yeah. Move on. Trump, yesterday, White House, question about a blue tent out in front of the White House. The tent has been there for a long time, and it is it's actually a peace vigil, a semi-permanent protest marker. I'm going to play the exchange because this, keep in mind, okay, this is the president who wants to be, who wants the Nobel Peace Prize, and he's pursuing it. It's clear that he is, and so there's a peace vigil protest thing that's been there. He says he's never seen it before. It's been there for years, always with somebody inside manning it so that it doesn't get taken down.
Out front of the White House is a blue tent that originally was put there to be an anti-nuclear tent for nuclear arms. It's kind of morphed into more of an anti-American at some times, anti-Trump at many times.
Where is this blue tent?
Right in front of the White House on the North Lawn, on the other side of the Black Gate in Lafayette.
44 years, I think it's been there.
All of us in here walk right by it every day. It is an eyesore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, let me
Take it down. Take it down today, right now. Nobody told me that. So you're saying there's a blue tent?
It's been there for 30 plus years. It was originally a peace tent, but it's kind of morphed into something.
Yeah, morphed into radical left. Okay.
Well, but I've heard.
Is it in the Ellipse? Where is it?
No, it's in Lafayette Park. It's actually
Lafayette Park. Take it down.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
what's interesting about it is that I've had people tell me it's a public health hazard because people sleep in there, they eat, there's rats, but also it could be a national security risk because people can hide things in there, they can have weapons in there.
We're going to look into it right now.
Yes,
We have.
Take it down. This guy says it's bad. Take it down. Let me see if I can get you some pictures of what this thing looks like. Let's just go to Google. I'll show you the result. Just type in peace tent take down, and you get this. I know what it looks like. I've been looking at it since yesterday. Right there. So there's, 44 years this place has been here. This thing's been out in front. And, there's a similar kind of a thing out in front of the Parliament buildings in Ottawa. It's been there, I think, since the Freedom Convoy. I'm not sure exactly how long it's been there. Well, this place has been here for a long time, and they always have somebody in there. There was one time when it was not manned because there was I understand, a U.S. soldier, veteran, who was supposed to take care of it, and he left. He suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder and for whatever reason, he left it for a while, and I think it at that time was in danger of being taken down. But there it is. Been there a long time. Ban all nuclear weapons, or have a nice Wednesday. Live by the bomb, die by the bomb on the signs there. And it's obviously taken a variety of forms here. But that's it right there. Here's Sky News. Let's go over and take a look at that. So this little sidebar story generating international attention. So the peace president says, take down the peace tent outside my house. It's an eyesore. It just... Donald Trump orders takedown of 44-year-old peace vigil opposite White House. It's been near the White House since 1981, calling for global disarmament. Take that down. One of the world's longest-running peace vigils could be under threat after Donald Trump ordered to take it down. Take it down right now. And so Friday night, police were seen talking to what appeared to be demonstrators near the vigil in Lafayette Park across the street from the White House. And the vigil keeper, Filipos Malacu Bello, was seen hugging another protester who feared the 44-year-old site could be torn down. It follows another threat against the vigil earlier this year when Representative Jeff Van Drew wrote a letter to the Interior Department describing the site as a 24/7 eyesore. And in the letter, which was shared at the time with the Washington Post, he said people have every right to protest their government, but not to hijack a national park and turn it into a 24/7 eyesore. The site of the vigil is in a park run by the National Park Service, which stipulates this tent must be manned at all times to remain standing. There you go. And in 2013, the vigil was briefly taken down right there by a park police when it was found abandoned. Organizers said the man responsible for staying at the tent overnight at that time was a veteran who had an episode of post-traumatic stress disorder. That's right. And here, I think I've got video of the exchange. Yeah, here we go. Here are the police last night being interacting with some protesters at the park who I guess were there because of what Trump had said. Now, as far as I know, folks, that tent still remains up tonight. So even though Trump gave the executive order verbally to take it down last night, it still remains standing. But this was the scene last night, shortly after Trump gave that order.
As long as the tent's up. Okay.
They were closing the park.
Nothing to do with. He did announce it.
And they were telling people get out of the park, but they're telling the protesters it's okay. This doesn't have anything to do with Trump's order, and the tent's going to remain up.
You're talking about pulling the tent.
That's not a Secret Service issue.
But you were talking about pulling the tent down tonight. I heard you. That was his all right, sorry. A couple of viewers right now behind. Make sure you hashtag 50501 say Prophet says so.
So yeah, as I say, I think the tent's still up tonight. I'm not seeing any reports to the contrary. I've got this video from here yesterday as well. Or actually, this is actually from this morning. A lot of tourists coming by to check it out because of what Trump said yesterday. And a lot of people coming to, I think, offer support too. Interesting that they have a Palestinian flag flying there. We'll see. We'll see. Will it or will it not remain? Okay. What else do I have on my list here? So we got that. Ken Dryden passed away. If you're old like me, you remember when Ken Dryden was a goalie, Canadian, Montreal, Canadiens. He played for them, also for Team Canada. And a lot of people are going to miss him. Hall of Fame goaltender. He wasn't just a hockey player, also a politician. I did meet him a couple of times. He was in and out of hockey, including 6 Stanley Cup victories and helping backstop Canada's generation-defining victory at the 1972 Summit Series. He passed away yesterday, 78 years old, after battling cancer. Key member of the Montreal Canadiens' 1970s dynasty. Dryden's career in the spotlight was only just getting started. This on CBC. Yes, I did meet him. He was a liberal politician. As a politician, I have to say I was not a fan. I found him to be a little too extreme on the left side for me, economically. And he says Dryden detailed his version of events in the series, the 72 series with Rush. He says, what I remember, what it felt like, what it feels like now, published in 2022. He says, I don't remember flying to Montreal. I don't remember the day of the game. I don't remember the dressing room he wrote of game one. All I remember is a feeling that kept building and building, growing and growing. It's what happens before a Stanley Cup series, for a Stanley Cup final, but not like this. It built to where it couldn't build anymore, grew to where it had no place left to grow. Then it built and grew to something more. So they recount the series, everything that happened. And that was his trademark stance, the way he would stand in the goal and lean on his stick. I remember that as a kid. I remember those days. I miss those days. And man, that was that Summit Series. That was a source of national pride for Canada. And I still remember that. I remember being in school at the time, and everything came to a stop. We watched some of those games in school. They wheeled in the TV on the big stand, and they brought all the kids down, and we all sat and watched hockey instead of learning our 3 R's. So I think we've got all the major stuff covered. We've got some sidebar stuff to cover here, including the auction of Darth Vader's lightsaber and a big fight over a baseball. Stay with me. We'll come back and I'll get you those stories. And we're going to go show you some of that auction at the Peterson Automotive Museum, where they're actually auctioning off all this movie memorabilia, these movie props, real authentic stuff.
Greetings, brave Mavericks. Our quest for truth continues. We go beyond fake news. Together we expose propaganda. Together we pull others out of rabbit holes. We are maverick thinkers. We are all unique individuals, defenders of individual rights and freedoms, credible, trusted, grounded in reality. Maverick News. Maverick News. Defending free speech. Free speech. Donate at freedomreporters.com. Do it now. Tomorrow may be too late. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Okay, so I guess we'll show you the baseball thing. Well, no, I'll save the baseball thing. Let's do the auction stuff. Okay, so it's a 3-day auction, Peterson Museum. It's really put on by the Prop Store auction, and it has wrapped up. I do have a little bit of footage to show you, and I'm going to show you also some of the stuff here now that has been auctioned off. Pretty interesting stuff. I've been to the Peterson Museum. Very cool place, multi-level automotive museum, but they do a lot of other stuff, a lot of pop culture, Americana out there. Los Angeles, day 1, day 2, day 3. And this is some of the stuff. I'm not logged in because I don't have an account, because I'm not inclined to spend the kind of money that people are throwing around at this auction to buy this stuff. I'm just not in that world. And you can see here, 2010 Space Odyssey, The Year We Make Contact from 1984, Spacesuit. They're auctioning off a piece of artwork from A Clockwork Orange, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, Ace Ventura's Africa costume. This stuff's selling today at auction for thousands and thousands of dollars. Ashes, screen-matched auto dock rotary bone saw, 1979. All this stuff sold. Small-scale RXF M5 EVA pistol with holster from the movie Alien in 1979. Ellen Ripley's light-up Narcissus emergency spacesuit replica, 1979. Sigourney Weaver's from Alien. And John Mulaney collection, hand-illustrated and painted Nostromo artwork of the spacecraft from Alien, 1979. 1986, Aliens, Ellen Ripley's practical special effects M240 flamethrower. All kinds of stuff. The thing, of course, that's getting the most attention, though, Darth Vader's lightsaber. And it sold for $3.6 million. Some guy had it. He'd had it for years in his garage. See if I can get you a picture of it. I had it here earlier. Let's see. Here we go. I think we've got a photo there. Yep. So this thing had it in his garage. They were aware of it at the auction house for quite a long time. Finally, the guy decides to sell it. Bidding came in right away around $1 million, and it sold during this 3-day auction for $3.65. $3,654,000 was the selling price for this movie prop. Wow. A little out of my price range. I do have some video of the auction here. We'll just run a little bit of this. Is the Prop Store, and this is they put on these auctions, and it's like high end stuff. Like
2,500 looking for 2,750 going once, going twice.
Most of the stuff selling in the thousands, not the millions.
Next is 2,750. 26.25 going once, going twice. Any more bids beyond $2,625? fair, and final. Sold for $26.25. 1074. We have Tron set of 12 codoliths. That's a lot of codoliths. How about 800? 800. Jump in there. Steal the codoliths. I have 700 looking for 8 going once. Going twice. Fair and final. Pass there. We're at 1075. And this is Tron Legacy 2010. You have Jeff Bridges, the Light Cycle Costume Reference Maquette. This lot and the next lot originated from crew members on production. So we have 1,500. How about 1,600? 1,500 looking for 16. Going once. Going twice. I have 1,500 looking for 16. Fair and final. Last chance to bid beyond 1,500. Sold for 1,500. 1076 is Kevin Flynn's Jeff Bridges Prayer Beads. 3,000's in. How about 3,250? I have 3,000 looking for 3,250. 3,250's in. How about 3,500? I have 3,500 looking for 3,750 to advance. 3,750 is not quite bid yet, but is now. Next is $4,000. I have 3,750. 4,000's in. Looking to advance to 4,250. I have 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. Looking for 4,250. I have 4,000 going once. Any advance here for 4,000? 4,250's in. Thank you. 4,500 as well. Next bid is 4,750. I have 4,500 going once. 4,500 going twice. And we have 4,750 just made it. Don't wait so long. We have 5,000. Again, you can squeeze in that split bid at some point, but maybe we're still rolling. 5,000 looking for 55. 55 is in. Next is 6. I have 5,500 looking for 6,000. 6,000. 6,000 split bid. Now I'm looking for 6,000. 5,750 looking for 6 going once. Going twice. 6 is in. Next is 65. I have 65. Thank you. Next is 7. I have 6,500 looking for $7,000 going once. 7 is bid with a split. 6,750. Now I'm looking for 7. 6,750. 7 is bid. Next is 7,500. I have 7,000 looking for 7,500 going once for the prayer beads by Kevin Flynn, Jeff Bridges, Tron Legacy. 7,500 is bid. Next is $8,000. Last chance to bid. 7,500. You still got this. How about 8,000? 7,500 going once. Going twice. Last chance. Don't let this one go. Beyond $7,500. Are we done? All in. All done at 75. Fair and final. Sold for $7,500. Thank you so much. With that, I'm going to give you back to Jamie, but I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that tuned in today, yesterday, the day before. Mark Schuster on behalf of Prop Store. I love you guys. So much fun. See you next time.
3.6 million for the lightsaber. What a bargain. Now, there was a Phillies game. And man, somebody's life has changed, I think. Here we go. So ball hit up into the stands. And I need to get the right clips here for you. I think I lost my spot. It's okay. Easy to get it back. I've got one of the clips that I'm going to show you, and I've got a fight, and it's going viral. Yeah, this woman. Okay. So this ball gets hit into the stands, and there's a scramble for the ball, and this woman goes for it, and this other guy is going for it to several people, but this woman thinks she gets it, but she doesn't grab it. This other guy gets a hold of it. And here's how it started.
The ball hit the fan. Oh, the Phillies fan came in and he stole it from another Phillies fan. Oh, she can't believe it. Whoa.
Oh, easy.
Oh, yeah. Yup. We have a little infighting here.
You know, he did give it to what I would assume is his son, maybe.
Okay.
Did give it to the youngster.
This lady's got to get it under control. Look at the girl in the background, in the left-hand side of the screen. She's laughing.
All right.
Ugh.
So he gave it to her.
What is going on?
Hey guys, well I'm out here in the outfield.
Okay, but it didn't end there. It just got started. Then it went, you were on, everybody's online. The crowd, people hate the woman because she took it from the kid, I guess. And so the public seems to disagree with the way the sportscaster depicted that. I think most people see it the other way around, that the guy was entitled to have the ball. And so they started to heckle the woman in the stands. They don't like her.
Yeah, you tell it! Woo! Oh, shit!
And it's just gone on and on. Let me just scroll up. Go back to this other clip here. Okay. So some people started doxing her. They've been posting pictures of her online because they want her held accountable all over a baseball, man. Here's another angle. Here we go. Is it up on the screen? No. Here we go. There it is. The ball comes in, and he runs over. They were scrambling for it. I don't think she ever had her hand on it. But she thought it was hers. And then you get this fight.
Hear it! Hear it!
You can't really see it from that angle, but I think he got it first anyway.
Hey, get out of there! Hear it! Hear it!
Wow. Jeez. Okay, and then the kid, I guess he got to go down into the Phillies locker room after the game. And they signed a bat for him. And here's how that went.
What's your name? Lincoln? Alright. Sorry you didn't get a ball, but I'm going to sign a bat for you instead, alright? Lincoln?
The woman took the ball from him. They got a bat.
What a gentleman got that. What is something like oh, yeah, like a lot of
Amazing.
Yeah. What's your name?
So all is well for Lincoln. Maybe not so much for that woman. People look at this. People are posting her picture. They want they want the woman held accountable. I don't know what this guy's saying about it, but here, this is what's going on.
Heron witch hunt for this lady.
after what she did last night. And boys, this is a bad look for her. So we got a home run in the Philly game. Look right here. She's grabbing for it. He gets it fair and square and goes back and gives it to his son. Look at him hug his son right here. Oh my, this is so precious. Oh, and then boom, he's ready to fight. Oh my God. A millisecond after he's having a great moment with his son, he's ready to duke it out with this Karen. She's in his face yelling at him. Kids obviously are like, Dad, what the hell is going on here? Why is this crazy woman in your face yelling at you? And he's like, son, we're going to figure this out. Just give me the ball out of your glove. I'm going to tell her to fuck off. Now, Karen may have won the battle, but boy, oh boy, did she lose the war. Because a little while after this all happened, a Marlins employee comes up to the kid and his dad and says, that was not okay, and gives him this big-ass goodie bag of Marlins gear. And obviously, the crowd is going bananas. They love it. They hate the Karen. They love the kid. And on top of that, the Phillies notice that this whole altercation happened, so they invite the kid down to the locker room after the game and get him a Harrison Bader signed bat. Look at the whole family right here. They're so happy. But the icing on the entire cake is this. This guy, Marcus Lemonis, saw this on Twitter, and he was pretty outraged by it. And Marcus is the founder of Camping World. So Marcus says, I'll send this young man and his family to the MLB World Series on me. And oh, you just won an RV as well. Hashtag Dad of the Year wins that one. So I guess this Karen stealing the kid's ball was actually the best thing that could have ever happened to him. But if I were Karen here and I saw that this dad was giving the ball to his kid, I would have just let it be. It's not that deep. That's like the golden rule of baseball.
You never know what's going to come around the corner. And sometimes clouds really do have silver linings, right? With that, keep your eye on Venezuela. Not just Gaza, not just Ukraine, but now Venezuela as well. As the peace president continues to rattle his saber and put F-35s into the air to do I don't know what. I'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern on the flip side. Stay peaceful. Love you guys. With that, I leave you with this.
He's gone insane, rattling This has been a Maverick Multimedia production.